In the ideal world, resources should bring benefit for all people, not only for the people above, but also for the people underneath. But in status quo, we can see resources are being exploited with an alibi that it is for the greater good. But what kind of greater good are we conveying here if we aren't catering to all the needs of the people in the country? For example, many parts of Sulawesi are being used and also exploited for a nickel mine, and people feel exploited because of two things. First is that it is hard to adapt from their current lifestyle, who has adapted to an agriculture type of lifestyle and occupation, and B, the existence of mines forced the forest to vanish, in which this is the heart of their current lifestyle. And this is bad judges because Indonesian has adapted to agriculture type of lifestyle and also occupation, because even if we have a lot of underground resources, it is still not managed according to the people's current condition. This already happens for a long time. That is why we have stated that it is harmful. Hence, in this motion, we can define two things. Firstly, is that the govern in this context means that we manage, store, and also trade the critical resources of a country. And also, the second is that the International Material Agency, or the IMA, is an external agency of a country that would have the right and the goal to manage critical resources of the country to ensure stability of that area. So we believe there are two interests of this motion in this the actors of this motion. First of all is that the government, their main interest is the national stability, because it can also be the face of the country in the global area. And also secondly is that the people, their main interest is to make sure that the management doesn't disrupt their daily activity and also occupation. Hence, the characterization is that the motion appears in the current status quo, where countries fail to manage both critical resources and also the aspiration of the people, especially when it comes to lifestyle and also occupation. Hence, I believe I have two arguments in my speech. First of all is that IMA ensures a stable country, and because status quo is not enough. And also secondly is that the relations of country can exclude trade conflict because it is managed under one body. First argument, judges. Currently, many countries face difficulty in managing resources and also managing the even more critical resources of that country, because many would protest the regulation, especially when it comes to management, storing, and also trading. People believe that this kind of regulation disrupts their daily occupation because they do not see the long-term effect. And this condition can escalate to internal conflicts and even civil war based on the instability of the people and also the social welfare. For example, countries in Africa fell into a civil war because the government failed to manage the scarce resources and also distribute the resources to all people, meaning that they already disrupts the social welfare of their own people. And post-civil war countries need more time to gather resources and also trade and also get back their stability before the civil war. And this can be harmful, especially in this global dynamic in which we need everything fast and also quickly. But if we are managed under one body, it is the IMA, then people can still use their occupation, and the government can still manage their stability and availability of resources for the people. So when this problem of stability and availability is managed, the government can then focus on the fair distribution of resources to their people, meaning that the risk of a civil war happening again and internal conflict that happen because of instability and also unfairness of social position can be reduced by this regulation. Second argument, judges. Status quo shown conflicts that happen because of trading condition and also trading conflicts in a regional area. For example, the international conflict in Venezuela happened because the global fought for the scarce stock of oil in that country, and this impacted both globally and also nationally for Venezuela itself. But I will categorize it into 3 points. Is that the first is the global instability, because we fail to have the scarce stock of oil, And secondly is that worse social welfare of the people in the country because of the civil war and also the military intervention from other countries. And thirdly is that the oil becomes even more scarce because instead of storing it, we use this oil for a military intervention, such used for their defense equipment. But if managed under IMO or International Material Agency, there will be strict bureaucracy to enhance regulation and ensure that these resources would use based on what they need to be used. A guarantee before these resources can even be taken out of the storage. And judges, when IMA supervise this type of bureaucracy, then countries should have a guarantee before they can even use the scarce or even critical resources that can be beneficial and also critical for the people's life. And the conflicts can be reduced because of the strict bureaucracy, and the usage is managed globally and guaranteed by the country that would use it. And even if opposition said that conflict can still happen, if welfare is already ensured and also guaranteed, then there will the risk of conflict happening again because conflict of interest can be reduced in the first place. And also bureaucracy will push, even if opposition said that bureaucracy will push injustice of usage with a body supervising all of this usage and also the schematic, then the risk can also be managed in the first place. And hence there is a model of what this motion can be used, is that to ensure that this motion can happen thoroughly and also globally, internationally for all countries. First, we need to make sure that all countries have an international connection, both globally, for example, joining the UN or the United Nations, and also a regional association or a regional relation. For example, in Southeast Asia, we have Asian, and also for countries like around America, we have NATO. And also secondly, the IMA must categorize what is the critical resources of each country to reduce the risk of an unfair system, and also to make sure that all countries have their own critical resources that must be managed. And also thirdly, they must be under direct supervision and also regulation for the resource management. Hence, there's two burden of proof of this motion. Is that first, proposition build better social welfare and global stability, and secondly, status quo is not enough to make sure that the management of critical resources in countries that have plenty of them uncategorized. Status quo is not enough to make sure that the management of critical resources in countries that have plenty of them uncategorized can be used for the social welfare itself. Hence, very proud to stand in the proposition. Thank you.